see you. Shall we tell a story? Hello. Hello. Yes. It's nice to see you, Plum. Hello. Here we are. Welcome to Puffin Storytime. This is Plum, and my name is Emma Chichester Clark. We're going to read a story about Plum called Plenty of Love to Go Round. Plum is slightly naughty. I'm just warning you. Here's the first page. I am Plum. I am a one and only special Plum. I live with Emma and Rupert. They are my mummy and daddy. They say I am their special one. My best friends are Sam and Gracie, who live next door, and I am also their best and only one. But one day, Gracie said, "We've got a surprise for you, Plum." What could it be? I wonder. "This is Binky," said Sam. He was holding a cat. I am not keen on cats. Look, I don't think Plummy's very pleased. "He loves you, Plum. Do you love him?" asked Gracie. "We love him," said Sam. I don't think Plum loves him. At least in the park I could try to forget him. The park is for dogs. It's for me and my friends. Can you see them? Can you see Plummy and her friends? There they are. "I say," said Esther, "is that cat with you?" I couldn't believe it. A cat. It's followed her to the park. "Who's your new friend?" asked Rocket. "He's not my friend. He's nothing to do with me," I said. "Well, he's following you," said Bean. Which is Bean? Bean is the orange one. Look at Plummy now. "Go home," I said. When I got home, he was there in my garden. "It's nice to have a cat around," said Emma. "No, it isn't. It isn't." He followed me everywhere. He sniffed where I sniffed. He rolled where I rolled. He peed where I peed. He stretched where I stretched. I couldn't get away from him. Poor Plum. The only safe place was the shed. She's going into the shed. But the cat came in. "Meow," he said. And then the door slammed shut. I was stuck with the cat. "Meow," he said, and off he went. Look, he's sliding under the door. Cats, I thought. Plummy can't fit under the door, can she? No one will find me, thought Plum. They might not remember me. Who will feed me? Poor Plummy. But I was wrong about that, because Binky came back. He brought Sam and Gracie. There they are. Can you see Plummy in the shed? Look, there she is. Silly old Plum, said Gracie. Binky saved you, said Sam. There's Gracie, letting Plummy out. There's Binky and Sam. They told Emma and my daddy. Clever Binky, said my daddy. He's so clever, said Sam. He's a cat. He's just a cat. Nothing special about it, said Plum. Oh, look at Binky, said Gracie as he ran up a tree. He can do anything, said Sam. It's true. It's really true, I thought. They thought he was wonderful, whatever he did. He was the special new one, the special one. I thought he was a show-off, clever clogs cat. Poor Plummy. He's ruining everything, Esther, I said. What can I do? Have you tried being friends? Asked Jakey. Yes, that's a good idea, said Esther. I can't be friends with a cat, I told Bean. That's Bean, the orangey one. What if they love the cat more than me? I asked Rocket. Oh, said Rocket. There's plenty of love to go round. Clever Rocket. So I went round to see Sam and Gracie. They were watching TV. The cat was outside, but he came back when he saw me. There's Sam and Gracie. There they are watching TV. And there's the cat coming back. So I pushed the door shut and I leant against the cat flap. You can stay out, I told him. Stay out until I say so. Then it started to rain, but I guarded the door. And then I felt awful. He may be a cat, but he was still a little creature, and we're all little creatures that need to be loved. Just then, Emma and my daddy came. Oh, poor Dinky Binky, said Emma. They saw little Binky, and they knew what I'd done. They brought Binky in. Oh, poor Binky, said Grace. Why didn't he come through the cat flap? Asked Sam. I looked at Emma, and she looked at me. She knows why, doesn't she? Now, Plummy, she said, you'll always be special. You're my special one. But you are going to have to put up with the cat. There's room in our hearts for him and for you. You've got a big heart, haven't you, Plummy? Said Emma. And suddenly I could feel it growing bigger and bigger. Luckily, my bed was big enough too for two little creatures. And what Rocket said is true. It's really true. There's plenty of love to go round and round. There's plenty of love to go round. So there we are. Thank you for listening. Okay, so I'm going to try and draw Plummy. So I'm going to use a black pencil, and I'm going to start up here at the top of the page and hope that I've got room for her. I'm going to start with her nose, and then I'm just going to sort of just gently draw where she might be, not really properly, just to see, here's her collar, if she's going to fit on the page, because I don't want to get to the bottom of the page and find there's no room. So here's her front leg. Here's the other one. And she goes down, and here's her back leg. Somehow or other, I always do her head a bit too small. So here's her tail. I'll go back to that and get it a bit bigger. It doesn't matter if I make a mistake right now. Make her nose bigger, because it will get covered up. When I colour it in, I'm going to rub out that bit. A little bit. It doesn't rub out very well because it's black pencil. But it doesn't matter. So I'll put in her eyes. We've got one eye here and the other eye here. And I get her nose here and her beard and her smile. And we'll better have her looking somewhere. Put her like that for the moment. And just finish off her leg. She's got another leg. Now, I think there's somebody else here. Who could it be? Let's see. Who is this? I think it's got a big round eye as well. And another big round eye. And we'll make it look at Plummy. Who do you think it is? I think it's Pinky. Now, luckily, these days, Plummy and Pinky are friends. There's Pinky's collars going there. Pinky has a little disc on her collar. His collar, sorry, Pinky's a boy. And go down like that. And then we'll have his tail coming around like this. And I think he's sort of jumping up. Here's his little paws. We know he's got rather sharp claws under those nice little soft paws, doesn't he? There's the other one. And then his body goes like this. His back leg. And his other leg. Okay, now we'll go back to Plummy and we'll give her a lovely red collar. This is a bottle of ink. I use these Dr. Martens inks, they're very bright colours, but my red isn't quite red enough, so I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to it. So a tiny bit of water, a bit of yellow, a bit of red, and that's quite a good bright red. So we'll just do Plummy's collar first. I do it first because if I do all the black and then I do the red, usually the red runs into the black. So the red is a smaller thing, so it'll be quicker at drying. And while I've got the red, I'm going to just do the little pinky bits on Pinky and Pinky. I'm going to check this is the right pink. I keep a bit of paper beside me just to try out colours on. So I think that's fine for her ears. So that's one ear, that's 2 ears, and his ears, I mean, and that's his little pink nose. And maybe I'll do his eyes now. I'm going to use a bit of turquoise ink, which I'll mix with the yellow to make a bright green. Tiny bit. There. That's just a bit watery, so I'm going to put it a bit on there. And then I put it in here. I'm going to leave a tiny bit of white in his eyes. Gosh, it's so watery, I might have to blot it. Because I'll probably smudge it otherwise. So I'll blot it with a little bit of blue paper. Very carefully. There. That's better. That's better. Okay, so perhaps we'll do Plum. I make my own black out of blue and brown because it's just a bit more interesting than a normal ordinary black. So I'm mixing blue and brown together. Okay. Usually it comes out a bit too blue though, but it really doesn't matter. Oh, look at that. It's very nice and black already. Probably not enough, but we'll have a go. Let's start with that ear, because I'm keeping away from that red bit in case it's wet. I don't want the colours to run. And do it very quickly, because we're going to come back to this. Go around the eyes carefully. You have to be careful with eyes, because if you went like that, it would make her look cross. So it's nice to keep it up. Keep it like a surprised eye, big round eye. I'm not going to go too near to her collar, as I said. Now, when I'm painting things or drawing things, I like to pretend that there's light coming from somewhere. So I imagine that the sun is coming from over there, which makes all the bits that it hits first a bit lighter, like the top of Plum's nose. I'm going to keep it lighter. And I don't dare go onto the collar yet, just in case, so I'll just do the rest of her very quickly, because I normally go over it with a pencil, just to make her hair more hairy. I'm going to run out. So down her legs, her paws, the other leg, and I always do the hair in the same direction as the hair grows. I wouldn't go across like that because you've got more chance of it looking like actual hair if it's going the direction that the hair goes. I'm just going to make a little bit more of this black because I'm running out. Okay. I'm nearly there with the painting. There's her back leg. So it's very lucky that Plum is so scruffy because it covers up a lot of mistakes. I'm going to go back up here now because I think that's dry. Yes, and underneath as well. That's better. Now it's all a bit... Oh, we have to do her tail. I nearly forgot all about her tail. Actually, at the moment, Plum isn't scruffy at all in real life because I gave her a haircut. And she looks pretty smart. Well, for Plum she looks smart, not for any other dog standards. But I'm just going to make sure that looks like her tummy there. Okay, now we'll leave that for a minute and do a bit of Binky. The problem with Binky is that he is a white cat. So we have to somehow or other do that thing of pretending that the light is coming from here. And a clever trick is just to make a little shadow. And I'm going to do that with a tiny bit of that brown again and a tiny bit of the turquoise. And I'm going to mix them together to make a sort of bluey grey, like this. And that will do. And so if I'm pretending the light's coming from here, I'm going to leave that bit white, aren't I? But I'm going to do the underbits of her legs, his legs, and his chin, chinny chin chin, and his chest. I'm going to do it like that too. And then under here, under his leg and his tummy, all along his tummy, and this back leg, like that, because there's definitely no sun there. And this leg, I think, will be pretty dark because it's not in the sun at all. And then under his tail. And it sort of helps him to look a bit rounder, perhaps. And also we've got to do his collar, which is blue. Just get some water off my brush. Try that. Yep, that'll do. Hope I won't smudge it now. Okay, that's his collar. And then I'm going to do his little medal, his disc in orange. And, oh, I think we probably should have some grass to sit on or something. So we need some yellow, more yellow. It's all about to run into the other colours. Catch it before it does. Okay. That's quite a browny yellow, which is fine. I'm just going to do it like this. Again, I'm doing it the same direction as it grows. Like that. And a bit here, and a bit here, and a bit here. I'm only doing it very fast. Sometimes it's clever to put a little bit of a different green in with it. Makes it more interesting. 2 different greens, or maybe 3 or 4. But anyway, more than one. Now we're going to go back to Plummy. I'm going to get a big fat pencil and I'm going to give her some eyebrows and make sure her nose is very black. And I'm going to go around her eyes so they really show up. Careful to keep them nice and round and not cross looking. And a bit of eyelash. Going round this one. And now I'm going to make sure she's looking at Binky. So I'm going to follow his eye up to there. And there we go, like that. And that goes like that. There she is. And now I'm going to make sure her smile shows up. There it is. We'll do a bit more to her beard. And we can be quite rough with this because, as I said, she's a scruffy dog. And sometimes I just do this all over Plummy, going in the same direction as her hair, just to make her more hairy. Put in her toenails, and I do it all over very quickly, like this. Actually, I usually do a bit harder and blacker, but the paint's not quite dry, but you know what I mean. Make that show that that's her back leg. Do her toes again. Her tail's the best bit because it goes like this. It's just wild, Plummy's tail. It's like a plume. Plume for Plum. Anyway, I'll do a bit more of this scribbling. And it is a bit rough and ready. But it looks like Plum. And this Binky, I'm going to use the other pencil. I'm just going to make sure his eyes are looking at Plum too. So follow up like that and make them a bit blacker, a little bit blacker. So they really are jumping out. And his nose can be a little bit blacker and his smile. And his ears. And what about his whiskers? I think that's him. What do you think? Is that enough? Shall we do some more grass? We could do some flowers, but I don't think we've got time. So that's it. There's Plummy. And there's Binky.